this weekend, Ironman, Hananiga, how many guys are going there? And then also they're in the big duels this weekend. So,
so they're sending their regular team to the mega duels?
Well, they have to.
Yeah, and then they're sending. I think they. I talked to Tyler in text messages briefly. Hopefully, we can get him on this week. Maybe while he's out there and kind of let us know how the Ironman's going. But yeah, the Ironman's this week. I think a few different people. I know Jimmy Masney is wrestling. He's the only kid from Marion that's going to be wrestling up there. I think I'm excited to see how he does out there. I know Sindel, TJ.
Both Cassiopes.
Not both, just
they are. Both of them. Gina and.
Oh yeah, sorry,
not
both.
Three of
them.
Not both.
Two of the three.
Is both.
Yeah, but you can't say both. You're assuming that I'm thinking twins.
Why are you assuming?
Well, because there's two that look just like each other.
Now they're starting to change a little bit now.
Yeah. So Gina and Rocco. I think Bruno's the injured right now currently. So that's all who's going to be out there from the area, which is going to be nice to see. That's a huge tournament. And I hope that they all have success because that will be a great representation of the area. So,
hey, speaking of there, I'm going to throw it out. I don't know if you guys noticed, got my Tony Capriola Wrestling Club T-shirt on. I got some gear this weekend from Nino, so shout out to Nino for hooking me up.
Yeah,
we got some new stuff coming too, though. Real nice stuff, though.
Yeah, let's keep throwing it out there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you listened to the last episode with Tyler Westland, but
yeah.
Unfortunately, Marty and I came to the conclusion, no call, no show,
right?
No gear.
I'm not going to lie. I got up Saturday morning. It was best that I didn't get on.
Yeah. And you're blaming Georgia football?
And it was Black Friday, kind of a little like Blackout Friday, maybe.
Okay.
Hey, bad decisions were made. Georgia was the last thing I remember watching. And
that's good.
A little whiskey and I was up, let the dogs out, started making coffee, and I just thought, it's probably best I don't.
That's probably why I'm going to be a no-show this Saturday because we got some of my college buddies coming into town and hanging out all weekend. So I don't know. I'll let you know. I might be able to get up and do it. We'll see if we do Saturday.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for the heads up, guys.
Yeah. Well, see, I do that. I let you know in advance.
Yeah, that is nice of you.
Mine wasn't planned. It was kind of, last minute we could get a babysitter, it just happened.
But speaking of, Dan, how was Sunday kids tournament?
Woo, man. I forgot what those things were like, just loud. And, they had, I think we had somewhere around 500 and some kids there. It took a bit, we were a little bit behind schedule getting started. It's supposed to start at 9. I think it got right around 10 when you, scratches and redoing some of the brackets. But once it started going, I think we were done by wrestling by 1 o'clock, 12:31.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they did a pretty good deal. I like it. When we ran our open tournaments, we did the same where you were just assigned to a mat and you wrestled on the same mat all day. And so there are so many brackets. So you're not going to the bullpen. You're not having to be taken somewhere. You're not chasing after the kids. You just tell them, you're on mat 15 all day long. Just hang out.
Yeah, you have been out for a while. That's been going on for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but man, I halfway through, headache, lost the voice, Typical, rookie coach mistakes,
Yeah.
But it was good. I mean, there was a lot of kids there. But I did talk to a lot of people who were very positive about the podcast, said a lot of good things. They listened to it. They love it, and I put the word out to some other coaches like, hey, let's
hang on a second real quick.
Speaking of coaches, I told them to reach out to you, Dalton.
Hey, Bill.
And get on.
Bill, we're on a podcast right now, Bill.
Oh, that's great.
How ironic is that? What?
Why'd you answer?
Because I had to show it. Look, it's Bill Nutting. There we go. Bill Nutting's on the line. You got anything to say about Iowa wrestling?
They're going to get second.
All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's pretty good. We'll make sure we keep that in the recording.
Yeah. But speaking of, so last week was kind of a slow week of college wrestling. I think a lot of people are getting ready
Slow.
for.
It was terribly slow.
Yeah, but everybody's getting ready for this week. This week is the Cliff Keen Invitational. So, I mean, this is one of the premier events of the year.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I haven't even looked at it yet because
I think everybody's there except for Penn State and Iowa, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, I can look at real quick. I'll pull up some of the seeds, but let's see. Projected. We got Ohio State, we got Oklahoma State, we got Nebraska, Virginia Tech, Iowa State, South Dakota State, Northern Iowa, Michigan, Stanford, Arizona State, Cornell, West Virginia, NC State, Cal Poly, Purdue, Ohio, Utah Valley, Bakersfield, Binghamton, Northwestern, Wyoming, Navy, Oregon State, App State, Rider, Harvard, Cal Baptist, Columbia, Hofstra, and Sacred Heart.
Unbelievable. You know who's the sleeper this year?
Who's that?
Minnesota.
Yeah, but I don't think I think they're stepping in, no longer a sleeper. I think McNames did mention this a couple weeks ago. I'll give him.
Yeah, I mean, they've been wrestling tough. They got some kid. I don't know where he's from. This heavyweight though, he looked really good.
Yeah, well,
he's okay for the third place guy in the nation, probably.
He's ranked 1 now.
Well, rankings.
I think he's teched a few guys.
Yeah. It's going to be great, isn't it? Oh my God, it's going to be.
I think just in the Big Ten, the battle for third is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
I think actually Minnesota maybe can push for second, but I think
probably not.
Iowa's probably locked up second, but that battle for third will be
right
where it's at
for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be. So I was just talking to Marty about Cliff Keen this weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, Minnesota's not there. They used to be there. But
Illinois
there's a lot of people. Illinois is not on the list either.
Yeah, they used to go. But there's a good potential matchup, right? That
we got
97.
97. We got
AJ Ferrari and
we got Cardenas, right? Cardenas.
Yeah.
Let me see the weight.
Michigan.
Did you see the heavyweight from Oklahoma transfer to Michigan?
Yeah, we got AJ Ferrari.
Oh.
Hold on.
Okay.
AJ Ferrari, Jacob Cardenas, Zach Glazier, Trey Munoz. Those are the top 4 projected seeds. So Glazier's the Iowa kid who got in a fight with AJ Ferrari at the Soldier Salute.
Yeah, he got smoked though last week.
Yeah,
who did?
Because
Glazier?
he's at South Dakota and he wrestled the kid from Minnesota, and the kid from Minnesota, I think 8-1.
Yeah.
Over Glazier?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that should be good. McNames, what were you mentioning before I said that? Were you talking?
Marty brought up that the heavyweight from Oklahoma transferred to Michigan.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Heiselman or whatever is Heisel.
Huh. I don't know. So what's like the 8th best heavyweight in the Big Ten now, or what?
Probably the 10th.
Yeah. That's
probably
a
still a qualifier.
You would have had a better chance. You should have just transferred to Loris.
Well, yeah, you think about it. If you were going to transfer anywhere, I would look at the MAC if I was going to go heavyweight. If I was in heavyweight, I'm going to the MAC as opposed to the Big Ten.
Well, if I was a heavyweight, I'd go
you
division.
look at it like, they're probably the qualifications. You're like, hey, man, if I get 12th at the Big Ten, I'm going to the NCAAs, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Win it. I don't know.
I know that you get an automatic bid if you are the champion at the MAC or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but then they're only allocated so many other guys. So,
but I mean, I
what
don't know.
about what's the head coach of Oklahoma now? Why are they falling apart?
I don't know. They are.
speaking of Minnesota, he's a former Minnesota wrestler.
Who's that?
Heavyweight?
No, he was 84, 97-ish pounder, coached at North Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Figured,
blanking on his name.
The kid that wrestled for Minnesota that blew his knee out.
Well, we'll see how good our wrestling knowledge is.
Here, Oklahoma, right? Did he just leave?
Yeah, he just left.
Yeah.
He's at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He's God dang. He when he wrestled in the Nationals, he blew his knee out and almost All-American. And I think the Nationals were in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I got him now, so I know Roger Kish.
There
Yeah, but I had to look it up, so it doesn't count.
Did you pull up the Nationals that he was in though?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it was in.
You remember that time in St. Louis when we were there and you stopped Dan Gable and he started telling you about TJ Silva or TJ Williams and how he slipped on the mat and stuff.
You know what? I stopped him and we were up in the balcony.
Yeah.
And he was down below and he just wouldn't let us go.
Yeah.
There was water on the mat.
Yeah, there's water on the mat. Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. So Roger Kish, I don't know what's going on down there. I know a lot of things have a lot of kids have left. I don't know the situation. Obviously, there's a lot going on with NIL. I mean, who knows if Sean Bourmet, whoever works with them, said, "Hey, I don't know if you're familiar with Michigan, but Larry Ellison, who is a billionaire, recently his wife is a former Michigan alum." Contributed a ton of money to the NIL collective, which is responsible for getting the quarterback to commit, one of the quarterbacks to commit, basically. So let's just say that they got some money in that NIL collective, and they disperse it throughout the athletic department.
I could be wrong, but isn't there like a wrestling brand that was like invented up there? Like there's a tournament named after that now too.
Yeah.
Like
the one
that's isn't it Clifford or something like that?
Yeah, I think you got some money going behind you there too. So I mean,
yeah. So I don't really know what Roger Kish is going through. I know
maybe he's cleaning house. Maybe these guys don't like to work, and he's like,
no shit. That could be it.
Yeah.
Well, I apologize if he's watching. I apologize for thinking that maybe you're the problem. Maybe he's the solution. And
yeah, he is the solution.
I mean, you never really know if you're, some things just can't be solved, right? Like some relationships can't be reconciled. You just have to go your separate ways. You don't agree with my system, my philosophy. There's other opportunities out there. Go chase them. Go after it. You got to find people that believe in the vision that you have, and if you don't,
that's the perfect example is that thing that's flying behind me right now.
Oh yeah,
they have some turmoil too. That's not my flag. That's my wife's. I'm a Viking fan.
You're anything, but you are loyal.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. She told me to put it up, and I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
one hangs out and the flagpole out in the front.
I don't think there's anybody's vision that could solve that problem.
Oh, it's terrible. Sorry about changing.
Yeah, it's all good. Either way, though, let's transitioning to some high school wrestling. I think this weekend, obviously, we talked about the Ironman is this weekend. We've got Jimmy Massney from Marion, got some Hananiga kids, Sindel, TJ Silva, Cassiopes, Gina, and Rocco. And did I miss anybody? I don't think I did.
Let's talk about the Barrington tournament first.
Well, yeah, I mean, this kind of comes.
Well, there's also
circle, right?
Is Marion going to the Donnybrook there, and right they go over there to Iowa this weekend, and Mount Carmel sends.
Yeah,
that's a meat grinder too.
Yeah. I mean
it's a very tough tournament.
That and I know schedules, it's tough to get those things that they would try to, wouldn't try to offset those two tournaments maybe.
Yeah, and that's the challenge with the high school season,
Yeah.
There's only so many weekends, I mean, I think same thing happens the same weekend of Cheesehead. I think there's another competing tournament that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Powerade was another. I don't even know if Powerade's still as strong as it used to be, but it's a big one.
I don't know.
But
Well,
yeah, we can.
Barrington, what, Marty, you want to talk? I mean, Hononegah had a pretty solid showing. Would they 6, 7 in the finals?
Yeah, I think 5 champions, right?
Or something.
Yeah,
It seemed pretty dominant.
Yeah. Got to get
won by
those kids.
50
Got to
points.
get some of those kids to win some matches in the wrestlebacks. I mean, if you read a little bit about, I mean, there's a great chance that they could place in state this year as a team in the dual state, but they got to shore up a few things. But they're, I mean, they got 8 guys that.
Well, and it's impressive.
And I don't think they're going to stay where they're at.
Yeah, the performance they put on even was out to one Cassiope.
Right.
No, that's
right.
another. You just assume at finalists at the least, right?
You know what I like more than anything though, is they were pushing for Tech Falls. They were breaking kids. That was one of my big philosophies. And if you look like at all the matches and stuff like that, there was a million Tech Falls from the good kids, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so, well, I think they did a great job. I think Barrington tournament was, I mean, it was a great first opportunity for them to showcase their the team, the lineup, getting the season started. I don't know when their next tournament is after, but
probably
they look pretty good. Yeah.
Well, Dvorak.
No, there's the mid states or whatever it's called up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, but I think that comes later. I think it goes Dvorak.
I think it's Dvorak, then mid states, and then Sycamore, right? Kind of in that order.
Yeah. We'll have to double check. But
are there any out of state teams at the Dvorak?
I don't know. I've not seen a lineup yet.
Yeah, I have not seen. That's one thing that a lot of high school tournaments, because they're kind of run by, they're just different, right? Like I got to look up the projected seeds for the Cliff Keen because we kind of know their weight classes. There's not much going on. When you look at a track event of a tournament, you don't get to see the brackets or the list of athletes because they don't even put it out, which I just wish they would, just so that we could kind of see like, oh, this matchup's going to happen or whatever, but you don't really get to see too much of that stuff. So, but this weekend, this is another thing I want to talk about, but this weekend, the Rockford East tournament is also happening. And there's a lot of area schools that will be competing there. Rochelle, Geneseo, Crystal Lake South. I mean, Gene went through the list. Harlem, Brandon Lesdowski from Mississippi.
That's awesome.
Driving
that's great.
Coming
Is he bringing a full team?
He's bringing 20 kids. He said 18, he thinks. 18.
That's awesome.
He's got a full team plus a couple extra kids that are going to get to get in the tournament. So.
How'd you like to ride on that? Are they flying or riding a bus?
They're riding a bus.
Oh my god!
One of those yellow buses?
Yeah.
No. I think they're I would assume maybe they're taking a shuttle of some kind because they're also going to do like a little bit of a tour through Chicago and go. It's going to be a little bit more of an experience than just wrestling.
Cool.
That's awesome.
That's all it is.
But it should be a good tournament. I'm going to go hopefully on Saturday and be able to broadcast the finals.
It's a 2-day tournament now, right?
Yeah, it's moved to a 2-day tournament.
Yeah. I know both Belvedere teams are in it as well.
Yep, both Belvedere teams. So, I think it's going to be a fun. I mean, there's a lot of local teams, so it's going to be fun for the local teams to get in it. I was just thinking about how I wish some of these other smaller single A teams would be in it. I just think it would be good for the Byrons, the Oregons, to get in it as well.
Yeah,
but
no kidding.
Yeah, so that's happening this week, and I mean, I'm pumped about the season's kind of underway. I think we're starting to get a little more information as to who's at what weight class, how it's going to kind of, the season, is just setting in. 3 months to go.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, it seems long, but it goes by quick.
Yeah, it goes by quick when you're not coaching.
Yeah,
when you're coaching, it sometimes drags on forever.
Long days at the school. Work out. You come home, it's dark out. You forget there's a sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god.
when kids don't make weight or
Oh.
stuff,
That never
injuries
happened in
happen.
Oniga.
Yeah. Well,
Never. I'm proud of that. Never had a varsity kid not make weight.
well, I don't have enough information to know whether or not that's true.
Well, challenge it. I just told you. I wouldn't say it if I didn't know it, right?
Well, you got rid of all the
It
evidence.
got going, and I took a lot of pride in it towards the end. I had some
The only person
unbelievable.
that would be able to corroborate that, and I would believe, would be Jimmy Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask him.
But again, he would have gotten rid of all the evidence.
Exactly.
Jimmy was one of those guys who was the first ones there to make those guys get down to weight. I just walked out of the room. I'm like, okay, Jimmy and one of the young coaches, they're like, we got it, Marty. I'm like, okay. I just left.
Yeah.
I'd go wait for the bus to come. You know, the problem is sometimes these young guys or these coaches, you got to realize you got to get those kids there about an hour before the bus comes if you're even worried about it, right?
Yeah, I think I had talked to a couple. Who did I talk to? Yeah, I heard somebody, just a situation where somebody missed weight. And yeah, it's tough. You got to be there before the bus leaves, and then you got to get to the place early to make sure the scales are on the same.
Yeah,
I'll give you a story.
Okay,
so back when we used to have a gigantic security system at Hanega, and you had a certain amount of time to go down the hallway into this closet and shut off all this stuff. Well, we had a big tournament going on, and I was all nervous. I forgot to shut the shit off. So I'm in the bathroom. I'm in the coach's locker room showering, and I hear, hey, and I go, hey, and I come out, and it's a cop. He goes, what are you doing in here? I go, I'm taking a shower. I go, I'm a wrestling coach. He goes, well, you set the alarm off. I'm like, I guess I did. I forgot to turn it on or turn it off or whatever. But he was like sitting there like already, like he thought he was going to get into something. I'm like, I'm standing there naked going, here I am in the shower.
Yeah, that would have been a funnier story if you got tackled in the shower.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Walking out. Kids showing up. How are we going to make weight, Marty?
Marty's getting drug out in cuffs.
Yeah, in his towel. Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So you got to. I mean, that is long. You know, when you wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock and you got to get to school, it is a long season, and it's already gotten a little cold this year. I feel like it's colder. Yeah, I don't even know how you're outside, Marty.
It's easy. I got a heater right next to me.
Okay. Well,
yeah, you know what? And back in the day, we used to, our bus would take a right or a left and go straight east into Chicago. We had some long drives. Ugh. Good stuff, though.
Yeah. Yes, that is for sure. So, outside of that, you guys anything else going on that you've been thinking about? Listen to any other podcast stuff?
Not really.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for some more wrestling on TV. Yeah. It was like a week of lull.
Yeah.
There was something like on the ESPN Plus. It was like some Presbyterian school. And I don't even know who the heck they were. And then I'm like, let's get this thing going. But, the Big Ten doesn't start till January.
No.
Yeah.
So, like there was a lot of good preseason duels that they had on. And now it's kind of slowing down. And I think it's like they gear up for some tournament times right now. You got Cliff Keen, and then you'll have the Midlands, and so once the Big Ten season actually starts, then we'll be going again.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
So yeah, talk about long season. That's a long season. That's still not, the season really doesn't get to start until January.
Right, nothing means anything right now.
Yeah. This weekend is a fun tournament because I like the idea of having like a pre-national event in so early enough in the season that it's like kind of, anybody can win it, but it really doesn't matter. But it's fun to use to kind of speculate and kind of see where everybody's at.
Yeah.
Like 125 is like a toss up, and right now there's nobody who's clearly in the front. Although I think Ramos and the Nebraska kid are definitely the two favorites, I think, going like preseason. I don't know if like Noto, that Noto kid,
Big Ten or overall?
just overall.
Well, you got Figueroa still from
Yeah, but he's
Arizona.
injured, and you never know how serious that injury is. And
I
that
got a
changes
question for
everything.
you guys. So Sasso, what do you think there? Can you imagine if he comes back in All Americans?
I think awesome.
Right? I mean,
And he's up to, where's he at? 57, 65?
65.
God, he was
And
what?
if you watch, I watched his one match, and he went off the mat. He still got a little bit of a limp.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy that he's even wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the extent of his injury, like when he got shot.
He got
Unfortunate.
shot in the gut.
Yeah. It was
Like
a
the
long,
worst thing you can do.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it would be one of the greatest stories ever if he All Americans.
Yeah.
I mean, right? I mean, I think it'd just be awesome.
Yeah. And
I think wrestling.
Before he got hurt, I mean, he was fun to watch wrestle, man. He was a grinder, and
He was.
I mean,
So have you noticed whether or not he has much movement? Like, is he just not the same? I have not seen him wrestle yet.
All I saw was him going off the mat and going like, I think they were wrestling at Ohio State, and he was going down the stairs. You could tell he has just a little bit of a limp, but I never got to see the match part of it.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if he got shot and he wrestles, I think that's a great story. I think the fact that he's up a couple weight classes, and that's hard to do, right? You take time off and you go up weight classes. You got to learn a whole different feel and style. And stuff like that.
Well, yeah, just the fact that he's wrestling in the Big Ten,
right?
In the lineup is awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, yeah, and you kind of can't imagine what he went through because he kind of got baited big time, didn't he?
What do you mean?
The whole scenario, how he got robbed.
I don't know the story. I just know that it was outside of a convenience store. They wanted his car.
So he asked for some help or whatever, and they.
Is it?
To mug him and.
Yeah.
Change subject here real quick. You were talking about Kish and hurting his knee and almost All-American. Is that what you said, Marty?
Yeah.
How about John Kading? You remember? Tore ACL and almost made a run and won the national title again.
That's true. You're right.
Pretty tough, badass dude from Illinois there.
Yeah. Well, I was just talking about injuries and stuff, and I brought up like Mark Perry. He won nationals with one leg, right? His other leg was completely torn. There's so many other examples of guys that went through the gauntlet, and you're never, I was talking to an athlete and explaining to him like how you feel today. You want to feel good throughout the season, but at the end of the season, you kind of have to expect that you're probably not going to feel great. You might have something of an injury, and you have to find a way to win with that injury.
Who was the kid from Glenbard North who wrestled for Iowa at 25?
Ramos?
Was it Ramos?
I mean, he's from Glenbard North, and he wrestled at Iowa.
Him. So
he won 33 though.
What did he go in at 33? Whatever. 30. In high school, he was going for his third state title or whatever. Probably, right? Glenbard North. Okay. Yeah. We were in Champaign, and I was reading the newspaper, and they were interviewing him, and he goes, "Well, there's not a person here that feels good."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It's a grinding thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just high school, where you let alone college, Division I.
Yeah. The nature of our training injures us, and it's kind of interesting because like you got to do it in order for you to get good, but by doing it you dramatically increase the likelihood that you're going to get injured doing it. So I mean, wrestling is it's a tough man sport, so if you're not tough, it's going to be hard to survive the season.
Boys that ever. That's a perfect quote, Dalton.
You see the guys on the podium at the end. I mean, they got bandages. They're wrapped up, knees, elbows. I mean,
you guys have seen those pictures of all the All-Americans with all the scratches.
Faces.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, if you can see my face, I was just wrestling the other day, and I came home and my wife.
Camera, I really can.
Yeah.
I've never really looked at your face.
Well, either way, I came home and my wife's like,
"Only your mom can love it.
You got a scratch on your face." I said, "Yeah, I've been wrestling." It's just like. These kids don't cut their fingernails.
Yeah, wait till you come home and half your ears hanging off.
Yeah. I don't think these ears are going anywhere. They're rocks.
It was okay. I'm gonna give you one more story.
All right.
All right. So when I was getting married, my wife would not let me wrestle for 2 weeks during the summer with kids because she was worried I was going to go get a black eye or whatever. And I'd be in the thing. So I'm like, all right. So my brother was one of my coaches. I'm like, Joe, you got to run wrestling. But he was also my best man. He had the biggest freaking black eye. I said, Marianne, you should have just let me wrestle.
That's funny. That's funny.
It was great. In our wedding picture, he's all black and blue.
It could have been you. Could have been you.
Could have been me. Yep.
Yeah, I mean that would have been a tough wedding photo there, Marty.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, the first I'll tell you a story. The first time I got cauliflower, I was wrestling McName's here, and I did a reverse gut, and I was just messing around. I tried a reverse gut. I threw him over, and his hip landed on my ear, and it instantly just exploded to full size. And my mom that day, she freaked out. She took me to what's the knee guy? The guy who does the Trent Hill, right? Is it
Trent Hill?
Yeah.
She
He's
called
great
me
too.
He didn't end up doing it. There was a plastic surgeon, but I kind of got to the hospital, and she made me get plastic surgery. And the guy was like, you'll never have cauliflower ear after this. They'll just, just be sealed up. And then sure enough, here it is. So
I remember that in telling your mom, you might as well just wait.
Yeah.
You're doing this for not.
Yeah. I still do not understand why she was freaking out about how my ear looked.
So I'll double that on you. Cauliflower.
Hold on. We got two stories. Dan's got a story, and then Marty go.
Okay.
So when I get to Belvedere and wrestling with guys, I did the same, and it blew up. And every day I would have Gary Thacker, and you look back now, man, I would let him drain it. He had needles and drain it. So one day as he goes to drain it, it kind of the end came out, and so he pushes it back in real quick, and all that air just blows up my ear. Oh man, I've never had pain like that before. And he's like, oh, and then he pulls it back out, and the blood's kind of just coming out. I was like, oh, that was the last time I trusted Gary to ever touch my ear.
You actually drain people's ears? That's unusual. Wow.
Yeah, I've never drained my ear. I was against it after the first time. So.
All right, so I went in. I had a cyst in the back of my ear that I had to have surgery on. So, and I went in. Oh, it was just simple surgery, like numb it and take it out. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I feel him up by my ear, and he's shoving a needle into my ear. I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, I thought you wanted me to take care of your cauliflower ear." I go, "No, I got a cyst behind my ear that you need to take out." He was trying to cut off my ear.
He probably couldn't find the cyst. Where's it at?
It's tucked back way in there,
Yeah, he's trying to help you out. Yeah,
can you imagine that, Dan? Nowadays, draining somebody's ear.
Yeah, no way. No way.
I didn't even like it then. And that wasn't even. I wasn't part of it. I left the operating room during that time.
Well, personally, I encourage everybody just to leave it alone. I think every time somebody drains it with a needle, it looks weirder,
and it gets worse.
Yeah, well, it shrinks, and then it does it again. I think mine looked pretty good.
I'll tell you what, when you first get them, though, they hurt like hell.
Oh yeah, once you get it, it's never going away.
Never.
Right? As long as you keep wrestling. Once you're done wrestling, then if you really are worried about what you look like, then you can have it.
It's like I told Marianne, and I asked her to marry me. I said, "I know what you're attracted to." And she goes, "Well, I like you a lot. You're great." I'm like, "No, you like my cauliflower ears."
Yeah. That's what. Yeah, that must be it. That must have been it. There's nothing else.
I get someone like her. It has to be.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it. I think our guest isn't coming, and it's all good. We've had enough time reminiscing on some stories. I think there's some good stuff to look forward to.
It'd be a great weekend for wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. Every day, if you're not doing anything, go to Rockford East and watch them wrestle. It's a great tournament.
Yeah, I'll be there on Saturday. I think I'm going to do a little broadcast. Hopefully everything kind of works out, and
Cool.
should be fun. So
Awesome.
Good deal.
all right, guys. We'll see you.
All right. See ya.